Welcome, beautiful souls. Today's video is a video that I have been waiting for a very long time to share. And it's a video, a channeled message that I think is so important that a lot of people don't know. And I truly feel that there is a cure for cancer, and there has been for many, many years. And today I'm going to be sharing about how cancer can be healed spiritually, energetically, on a physical realm. And I'm really excited to share this. This has been in my heart. I can just feel my heart opening up as I open this video. If this is our first time meeting, hi, I'm 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞. I'm a medicine woman, and I help souls learn how to heal their bodies with medicines and energetically, as well as teaching souls how to be of support of their community, sharing their gifts. And this has been something that's been channeling for quite a while, and I've seen it. I've seen miracles, and I don't want to say the words miracles as like something empty, because miracles, that word, should be something that every single person should see on an everyday life. And it is something that can be seen every single day. So I'm really excited to share this video and channel message with you. Before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and notification bells so you do not miss a video. And feel free to share this with someone who might be healing cancer. If you're someone who's watching this and you follow in this community, I'd love to just hear more about your journey, or someone who's close to you. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one to heal your body, to heal from this very scary word that I feel like we've put so much power into, and shift it into understanding it energetically, you can give me an email in my bio, or my little description down below, bio description, and send me an email, and we can chat more, because it's definitely something that I've been receiving in the other realms, these messages. So before we start this channel message, I want you to just take a moment to give your heart permission to be open. And we're just going to drop in together. I always like to drop in, and this specific one is something that needs to be dropped in. So whether you are someone who is receiving this message for healing for yourself, just closing your eyes, or this is for a family member, or this is just out of curiosity, you were pulled to this video to receive this message, and just knowing that it is divinely orchestrated, it is for you, it is in alignment for you, and to follow through with whatever is here for the highest light to receive this channel message. And as we open the space, calling in divine guides, guardians, and beings to come into the space, holding us in the biggest and deepest of benevolent light and love, unconditional love, we thank you so, so much. Thanking the lands that I reside on, and also the lands that you reside on, for holding you. And taking a deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale out. And opening your eyes back into the space to receive. So what inspired me to share this video was essentially a deep message that I wanted to share, and to understand that there is a healing for cancer. There are many, actually. And I want to just start with the basics of defining what cancer is, starting with our own innate body. Every single human has a specific grid, a specific coded version of who you are as a being, right? And there is a template that you know that your body, your soul knows how to activate with. Now, when we are in everyday life exposed to so many things, it can be hard to sustain those templates when there is unnatural things coming into our body, exposing our body and whatnot. But let's go a little bit deeper than that. Let's start with what our body is majority made out of: water. Our body is made out of over 70% of water. What else is also made out of that much water? The earth. So when we look at it, we as a being, if you understand the element of water, water is eternal life. Every drop of water is a light being that activates your body with eternal life to live eternally in the physical body that you hold. So when you drink water, you have thousands upon thousands of thousands of eternal life that is rejuvenating, clearing, and cleansing your body. Now, where does Cancer come into the space of this? When an energy is coming into the space, what Cancer is energetically, and it has also been shared with many other spiritually aligned physicians as well. But what I have grasped in this information is that, and received in download, was these cells that are cancerous are cells that believe that they are not eternal. So in this area of your body, and we're going to start with the basics, there's so many layers, so I want to make sure that you guys can fully receive this. Your body has these cells that believe they're not eternal, right? And they're communicating to each other. They're saying this area of the body, so if it's breast cancer, this area of the breast is not eternal. This area of the pelvic is not eternal. This, whatever. While you're still drinking water that is eternal, right? That is shifting, that is receiving. Now, the reality is this specific cell has chosen to grieve and to transition. Now, the human life, the human physical body has a choice to stay here, to be on this plane, or to transition on. And the beautiful thing is you have that power to decide that by understanding and giving those cells permission to transition. So you become an internal doula for that specific energy that is in your body, right? So let's give an example of what's coming up as breast cancer. Let's go into the spiritual meaning of how to heal cancer. Breast cancer, your chest, this area is related to the heart chakra, right? The heart chakra itself is the center of your heart. It's the entrance, the gateways, the open doors of your heart chakra, right? So when we look at the cell, and depending on if it's the right or the left, the right side is the masculine, the left side is the feminine, right? There's so many parts of that, but let's say, for example, it's on the left side. That person, energetically, what has been coded in that spiritually is that I cannot love some part of the feminine side of myself, or ancestrally there is a connection to that of the women, of the feminine of my life, of the feminine of my lineage, right? So in turn, I believe that this part of my heart is not eternal. So when we go into the energetics and how I heal with people, this isn't just cancer, many things, diabetes, hormonal imbalance, all the things, but we're speaking on cancer. What you do is you go into the body, and energetically what you need to do is you track in the space, okay, why does these cells feel like they are not eternal, right? And we go in and we understand what part of you doesn't believe that the feminine loves you and that the feminine doesn't want you to be here, right? There could be a grieving and some part that's related to non-internal, such as a passing of a mother. It could be that, like, a drastic passing, or, a miscarriage that could have happened. And because of that, these cells of that experience gravitate and move into the heart chakra, because that's where it's most affected and it causes cancer, right? Let me give you another example. Let's say I had someone that had cervical cancer that messaged me the other day and was talking about herbs and medicine. And when the cervical cancer, the cervix is the portal of ancestral wisdom and the library of a soul. Okay, if you didn't know, the womb is the library of the soul. Now, the cervix specifically has every story that has been imprinted and received in your body and DNA and your soul print. When something happens there, that means there's maybe a story or an experience, and this is, everyone's different. I'm not saying that is for everyone. That there's something that, an experience that the soul felt like they died in that experience. Now, when we have a trauma or something happens in our life, what happens is our soul leaves the body to protect ourselves. And then we don't really fully absorb what happened, That's why we have a shock experience. That's why we have PTSD. That's why we have emotions, depression, all that stuff, is because in that part of the body, it is coded that a part of you felt like it died in that experience, okay? So how do you heal it? You go into that part of the cervix and we start to reconnect with the energetics physically with that body, whether that is somatically. We work with herbal medicines. There's various medicines that I support people on to connect with. We work with yoni steaming. We work with yoni eggs, right? And we go into that space and we say, okay, why did you feel that you died in that time? And we allow those cells to grieve, and we transmute it to love. We transmute it to cross over. Just like you would do when someone passes away, they leave their physical body and they transmute back to source. They transmute back to spirit. They transmute back to that space. So I hope that I'm starting to share with you guys more and more before I get to the final message of what and how to heal cancer. Let's give you another example. Skin cancer. This one's a really deep one. So your whole skin, which first of all, the skin represents the root chakra, right? Knowing that there's so much I can share with this, but the root chakra, right? And when we talk about how to heal skin cancer, what does the skin represent? Is safetyness. Root chakra represents safety, basic necessities, the feeling of the need to be loved. And where that comes from is the root chakra is developed 2 generations before you're conceived. A lot of people don't know that. So that means that the eggs that your mother holds are the same eggs that your grandmother holds. What is your grandmother and your mother's experience of the root chakra? Were they on survival mode? Were their basic necessities given? How was their birth? What were their early years when they were a baby in the womb? What was the mother going through? All those experiences of the root chakra develop, right? So whatever experiences they had that felt like trauma, that felt like wasn't processed, holds itself in the energy of these eggs, right? In the womb. So then you get conceived, or whoever, this person, let's say, gets conceived. The soul gets conceived, goes into Earthside, and continues their life. But throughout their life, a lot of their experiences are pulling them out of safetyness and balance of their root chakra. Okay? Maybe they have chosen in this life to have a specific culture, origin, skin, perhaps. And they have defined themselves through these traumas, which is quite common for a lot of people, right? Feeling like they don't belong in the body they are in. That's skin cancer. That's part of the meaning of it, right? So when we look at that and the safety in someone who develops skin cancer, we understand the definition of cancer, which is a version, a bunch of cells that are ready to grieve, that are wanting to die, right? Wanting to cross over, wanting to transition, right? And we do it on their whole body. What that means is we are now transmuting that body to receive a new root chakra to then heal the full skin cancer, right? We go in and we understand what part of the skin believes that it should not be here. And we tap that, we shift it through somatic healing, we shift it through herbs, we shift it through understanding where in the area is the skin cancer developed first. That's another thing too that you can look into and start to detect and tap into. Where is it spreading the most? What age did it develop? Then we start to track trauma. Trauma tends to repeat itself 7 to 9 years at a time. So we start to track that. So the reason why I give these examples before getting into the channel message of how this society, how our humanity can heal cancer is because one of the biggest messages that I have received and I have tuned into is what part of this world teaches us that we shouldn't be here, right? There's so much coding in the world, whether it is detaching ourselves from who we are and feeling, screen time, for example, ideologies of the physical bodies and the attributes that are most favorable to the male, the female, and any soul that is here, right? The idea of what success is, all these pressures, right? So for a soul that comes here with a specific meaning and purpose, and then tends to have these triggers, which we all have, right? Certain things of our soul, the way that it's mapped out, that we're here to develop. And we start to attract and go to the lower frequencies because that is what's manifested. So the number one way of how to heal cancer is to understand what our soul came here to shift, and to understand that yes, we have chosen to be here. That's the first step. Your being has chosen to be here. The second thing is to understand that humans are here, humanity is going to witness suffering, and some experience it. And some will experience more than others. But in suffering, that equals, on the other end of that is the divine love and freedom and peace. So we have to tap into what part of our being, based on the meaning of this cancer, because again, I go into what the meaning is with people. What part of our being believes this and doesn't want to be here? What that allows is it gives you permission to say, yes, I am worthy to be, I am significant to be here. And then what happens? We transmute these cells out. And I have seen firsthand of people who've gone into ceremonies and healings, and at the end of it have healed cancer cells. Their lymph nodes have gone down. And it's all on the basis of understanding that I am significant to be here. I am significant to be here because I am safe for someone who has skin cancer. I am significant to be here because I do not have to hold the grief of the unborn child that one has miscarried and transmuted, who has cervical cancer. I am worthy to be here because the brain cancer I have is the part of me, or the part of you, or the part of the being, may I correct that? The part of the being that believes that their insight and their connection to divine and God, and they're bringing them through this initiation of cancer to understand that you are not alone. The unseen is holding you. And yes, your insight of the world matters, right? And this world isn't here to not support you, to believe that there's more to that. You know, someone who has breast cancer believes that yes, they are loved by the feminine. Yes, the feminine can be loved by the masculine. Yes, they can be held. Yes, they can be received. Yes, they're not too much. Yes, they can let go of the person that passed away. A lot of people with breast cancer is on a basis of a death or anything in the heart area. So what I want to share in the channel message is at the end of the day, one of our biggest diseases and physical elements of this world, cancer, can be healed. And as long as we understand the 3 layers, the physical meaning of it, of where it is, understanding what type of cancer it is, and how has it coded the body to think it should not be here, to transmute these cells out to source, to whatever that you believe in the unseen, and to then allow yourself to heal it, to integrate. Because this is another part why people get cancer again, is because the integration process and sealing that energy to ensure that the eternal waters, as I started this video, can replenish that part of the body, can go into the breast, can go into the cervix, can go into the arm, can go into the brain, and flush out what is needed to completely recode the DNA in the light body. Light body is your auric body, your soul body, and then the physical body. What a lot of people don't know, physical diseases are created because our energy hygiene, our management, our energetic hygiene of the soul body, light body, and the auric field is not maintained. So it seeps into the physical body and creates things like diseases, cancer, and various things like that. So my biggest takeaway from you from this video, as I come to a close of this channel message, is that to understand if you are someone that has cancer, if you are someone that knows someone who has cancer, that it is healable. Should you choose to understand that it is your biggest initiation to remind you why you're here, to give you permission that you don't have to hold the grief and death of things that have happened, of your past self, of people that you've loved, or from things from past life. clear that karma, allow it to transmute through the waters within, and allow you to recode it within your being. That is applicable, and our humanity can heal. It does not have to gravitate to things such as burning off these cells, because what happens is then these cells sometimes become more aggressive because you're trying to shut down the shadow, which I talk about with other people. You know, when you do shadow work and healing, isn't to shut down the shadow in the voice, it's to actually see it and say, hey, I hear you, I see you, I witness you, I understand you, to give it a space to speak. That's healing. It's not to just pop affirmations and burn it off and see. That is how we heal with fear. That's how we heal with control. We need to understand and be in that surrender to transmute it into love and really surrender and accept what is. And when we can accept what is, we can then choose a reality of what will come. And that reality is that you are an eternal being. You are an eternal soul, and you will continue to be eternal. But the choice is always within you to do so. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'd love to talk more about cancer. And it's something that has been coming up for me a lot through dreams, through messages, and educating it with my community here and to your relations, and knowing that we as a humanity can heal and get back to the template that is us, and that we can evolve our humanity to something much deeper, much greater, much powerful for what is to come. And your life is significant. You are loved, you are held, and I'm so grateful that you are here. Don't forget to share this video to someone, especially someone who might be in the midst of, really in their initiation of cancer. And if that's you as well, share down below what resonated and what came up for you. Maybe you received a download in this message. Like, subscribe, put notification bells. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, coming to my retreats, healing, or being in support of any physical elements, then give me an email in my website. And also check out my one-on-ones and retreats to support you deeper in trainings. I'm sending you the deepest love, and knowing that eternal waters, we are so grateful for you. Thank you so much for connecting this beautiful soul on our beautiful ceremony today. And I'll see you guys in the next video.